Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch the game Theorists. Let's start.
Dear Gung Ho Online.
Hi Gung Ho Online Entertainment.
Ha! Another sponsor! Finally, we trapped another one. Yes! Sponsor me to tear apart your game! Fuel my ramblings!
Be nice, Austin. You scare the sponsors away.
Okay, I've calmed down. Thanks to Gung Ho for this opportunity. I swear I'll be nice.
Thank you.
Ninjala is a cute, cartoonish game that puts you in the shoes of little ninjas. Cute! And you can choose their outfits and their hairstyles and then be dumped into a multiplayer arena to beat the crap out of other child ninjas with no remorse! Well, if you're a normal person, I happen to be utterly terrible at the game, and part of it may be because I keep trying to get measurements and numbers in the middle of a battle royale. Excuse me. Excuse me!
Excuse me, I'm going to do a video about this. Please don't kill me.
I am trying to do some science here. Do you mind? Okay, so the core premise is pretty simple. You're a 12-ish-year-old kid who comes from a long line of ninja warriors going
Shinobi!
all the way back to the Sengoku period of Japan, and this ninjetic potential is held within your DNA. Sounds simple enough, a little bit of Assassin's Creed meets Splatoon. The weird part is how you supposedly unlock this power. It's gum! You know, Bubblegum! This stuff! I mean, in the game, it's supposedly special gum, probably full of pharmaceutical chemicals that do, DNA magic, but
What? Special gum? DNA magic? Okay. Are you high or something?
But that's not what we're talking about today. Well, sorta. I am talking about the gum because it's pretty much the main mechanic of the game, but I am not touching DNA magic, DNA memory stuff with a 6-foot pole. Instead, we're gonna be looking at how the gum itself is used in the game because it does everything from the mundane to the ridiculous. It can form weapons, it can be used to attack people, lets you stick people in places like Spider-Man's web, and will
Ippon! That is 1 point.
even let you fly and run up walls. Frankly, the gum does a lot of the heavy lifting in the ninja department. Specifically, we're gonna be looking at a few things really, really closely. The wall running, the double jump, one of my favorite game staples, and the gum boost, which is essentially an air dash, and just because I'm feeling vindictive and a little naughty, we're gonna hazard a guess at just how potentially fatal the spinning tornado special is because, you know, I just do love me some internal bleeding. Okay, first things first, the wall running. It's a pretty common staple in games, and it is something that's possible in real life. It works by an athlete using their legs and feet to transfer their horizontal motion into vertical motion. By
Oh, I know that outfit. It's the Taekwondo, I remember.
creating friction with the wall surface, anybody can wall run as long as they're going fast enough. The thing is, gravity will constantly be working against you. Gravity helps you run under normal circumstances by keeping you pulled down and in constant contact with the ground. That will not be working for you here. Every step forward you take on a wall will reduce your contact with it. The contact that was originally only maintained by the momentum you had by running at it. This is why people who wall run regularly can usually only pull off like a meter or two for a fraction of a second. It only takes a couple of steps to cancel out all that forward momentum and leave your feet with no way to push off the wall without just falling backward. And this is why the world record for the highest wall run is only 4 meters. It's just too hard to do this without something constantly pulling you to the wall. And this is where the gum comes in Ninjala. By gluing your feet to the wall using gum, the idea is that the negative effects of losing your forward momentum will be mitigated, and that is kinda true. But unfortunately, what it does not do is remove the negative impact of gravity. You see, while you may be able to mitigate the lack of forward momentum, you can't just ignore that gravity will be pulling at your center of mass. And in order to fight it, you're gonna have to be able to accelerate faster than gravity can pull you down, which really isn't possible. I mean, I haven't even gotten into the gravity of the Ninjala world yet. We'll get there.
Oh, pixel measurements. And also, you are 12 years old. Come on, no matter how strong you are, you need a lot of muscle strength to fight against gravity. Just saying.
But the best sprinters in the world can only accelerate at about 3.09 meters per second squared, which is well below 1G. Even they would not be able to pull this off. Spider-Man shoes or not. This is especially problematic because the center of mass is right here and would act like one big lever, pulling whoever was stuck to the wall over like, well, a lever. Not even Michael Jackson had calves strong enough to pull this off. And then you'd just be like,
moonwalk, Michael Jackson.
Dangling there, helpless, waiting for someone to come smack you in the face with a Nerf katana. Now, this could be fixed if the hands also had sticky gum on them and the runner were able to make a 4-point contact with the wall, preventing their bodies from flopping over. This would be a lot less like a wall run and more like a wall climb, where you'd be treating the wall more like a massive flat ladder instead of a surface to run on. But, alas, that is not what we have here. But let's get to the really fun stuff now that we've gotten wall running out of the way. Double jumping, gum boosting, oh man, this is gonna be some good stuff, and not for the reasons that you were expecting. But before we get there, well, we're gonna need to find a ruler. I need one desperately. I need to do pixel measurements.
See, I know it's pixel measurements.
But yeah, these cartoony games are the worst when it comes to getting one of those. A compass marker with meters? Nope, no such luck. A random yardstick discarded somewhere in a school setting? Nope. But I always find something to measure with. Nothing can stop me! And this video is no exception. And I caught my lucky break when I realized that Eagle City is an analog for New York City. There's a Statue of Liberty knockoff and everything. But more importantly, there's a subway right here. And more importantly than anything else is the sign. The sign! The sign is the key to everything!
What? I mean, what? Okay. So you're trying to say that the sign is the sign's relevance. Get it? Get it? Alright, let's continue. It's just getting awkward.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
The New York City subway follows a design standard to this day for this style of sign that was laid out in the 1970s. In 1970 proper,
History classes.
in fact, in 1966, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority commissioned the Unimark firm to completely redo the subway system sign design because it was, to put it mildly, a chaotic, imperceivable mess of cobwebs and disaster. So two designers, Massimo Vignelli and Bob Norda, spent the next 4 years completely overhauling the subway system sign and communication design, and they condensed it all into one document. This one, right here, the New York City Transit Authority Graphics Standards Manual,
Graphic standards manual.
which I have right here. It's real, and it covered everything
it's real.
anybody would need to know in order to efficiently navigate the New York City subway system, and it is still in use today for all the signs when they're replaced in the city, and it is today our Bible that will unlock all the answers we're looking for in Ninjala. And
The manual, the graphic standards manual is the Bible? Huh. Okay.
our answers begin right here. Page 38. 5 1/2 inch discs. I've got you, gung-ho! You can run, you can hide, but you will never escape me. Whew. Okay, deep breath. Knowing that these discs are 5.5 inches wide is just the beginning. Using wall standing, we can use them to measure our character's stance from toe to toe at 166 pixels, which at 229 pixels per meter gives us a stance width of 0.72 meters. Now, we just gotta transfer that number somewhere meaningful, like, oh, I don't know, man, I wish I had like a grid or some sort of graphing paper, and oh my god, the training dojo is perfect! Look at this! Big squares subdivided with smaller squares. Holy crap, I am in heaven! More games should do this, facilitate my ability to nitpick them apart. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so a tiny square is 0.84 meters wide, making a big square 4.2 meters wide. We are in business! Okay, so, what were we trying to figure out again? Oh, right! Double jumps! Fun! First things first, though, we gotta measure the gravity of the game so we can know what we're working with. For our force and energy purposes, we're going to assume that the characters in Ninjala weigh the same as an average 12-year-old, 41.5 kilograms. It's a bit arbitrary, but it's close enough to make do, and it'll be within a small margin of that number either way.
Small margin of error in there.
Okay, falling from a height of 5-ish meters at exactly 2/3 of a second gives us a gravitational pull of 24.7 meters per second squared. Not too shabby. Right in the sweet spot for most 3D games. Good so far. Alright, so, double jumping. This is impossible in real life. Don't believe me? Just try it yourself. It can't work. Without moving your feet somehow faster than the speed of sound so you can create a pressure wave platform out of the atmosphere to jump against, to push against, you simply cannot move air out of the way fast enough to create enough force on your body to really even slow yourself down, let alone send yourself jumping back up into the air. But
yeah, that's the thing. In the real world, it's not possible. Of course, it's not possible, but it's a video game. It is a fictional world. What if it is possible? Just saying.
But here's where things in Ninjala get interesting. If you slow the game down and really look at it, this double jump is almost less of a jump than it is like a propulsion boost. Look at this gum that appears all of a sudden, almost as if it were like a rocket. Well, this changes everything. Gum, man. Do not underestimate this stuff. Rockets, at the end of the day,
Double jump is very different from propulsion rockets.
They are just fancy, expensive, very warm devices that take advantage of basic Newtonian rules. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Rockets specifically take one action, which is to shoot out huge masses of gas from their butts as fast as they possibly can. This creates an equal reaction in the opposite direction, or in this case, a force that pushes something that we want to send up into the sky. That's the basic way rockets work. Technically, you could get into orbit by just like throwing rocks at the ground really fast. It'd be the same basic idea, but it would also be wildly impractical. This is more or less how the Sepratron rockets work in Kerbal Space Program. So, in theory, there's no reason why gum can't be a rocket fuel. I mean, as long as it's going the opposite direction quickly enough, it can do the job. The gum rocket seems to actually be doing most of the heavy lifting, shooting out gum until the player is only 84 centimeters from peak height. But this lands us in a tricky situation, doesn't it? If we don't know how much of the stuff is shooting out, we can't possibly figure out how fast it's going or how much weight is being displaced, making rocketry mathematics impossible, right? Right. Which is where this thing on the back of the character comes into play. The Ninja Gum Bottle. Measuring at just over 14 centimeters thick and 44 centimeters wide and clocking an internal volume of over 7.5 liters, this is the thing that stores your Ninja Gum, the stuff that gives you all your power.
Ninja Gum Bottle.
Bubblegum can be made from many different materials, from chicle rubber to synthetic gummy materials. My bet is on chicle, though, given how tacky it is. Regardless, all gums average at about 1.3 grams per cubic centimeter of density, which at 7.77 liters means this thing can carry a whopping 10 kilos of chewing gum. lord! Given that from start to finish this stuff shoots out in 0.267 seconds, we're looking at a flow rate of 37.85 kilograms per second, or over 2,442 newtons. This means our ninja would be accelerating at a whopping 15.69 nice meters per second, up to a top speed of 4.18 meters per second by the time the gum runs out,
And it's the opposite direction of gravity.
leaving him with just enough kinetic energy to float up 84 more centimeters before stopping and falling towards the ground. How fast would this stuff have to shoot out in order to accelerate him up that quickly? Not that fast, honestly. I had to estimate the nozzle size a bit at 10-ish centimeters, pretty big, which gives an exhaust velocity of 3.76 meters per second, or just over 8 miles per hour. I'm gonna put this thing in the realm of solidly plausible. Just keep in mind that if you were to try this yourself, it'd be kind of like trying to throw this 20-pound bag of cat litter at a wall at over 16 miles per hour. Not necessarily impossible, but not easy, and I have no idea what this gum is made out of that it's able to have nozzle velocities that huge. C4? I hope not, because C4 is toxic. Do not chew gum that's made out of C4. If you remember nothing else from this video, do not eat C4.
Yep. So if you have learned nothing from the video, just know that do not eat C4. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, with all that figured out, the rest should be easy. Gum boost? Well, your character reaches a top speed of 36 meters per second, freaking 80 miles per hour or 130 kilometers per hour, and maintains it for 0.47 seconds, unleashing a metric butt ton of energy in the process. A 41.5 kilo child covering 15.17 meters in 470 milliseconds would require 47,102 joules of energy, which is, frankly, an almost meaningless number. What is not meaningless is the 58,076 watts of power it would require in that time, which amounts to 77 horsepower.
What? Oh my goodness, that's a lot.
That's not actually a lot, but it is impressive from
No, it is a lot. Come on, it is a lot. Come on, it's a 12 years old.
what is essentially a candy-powered jetpack, and it's around the same horsepower that a 2019 Mitsubishi Mirage G4 ES puts out, and that car has a whopping 5.9 stars out of 10. Yeesh. Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
This brings us to my favorite gum-powered feat, which is the Tornadoe Spinning special attack. It's not technically a ninja parkour move like the others, but it was far too much fun, and I just couldn't help myself. I smacked this worthless NPC computer bot in the practice arena and sent him flying, and he did not go in a straight line, frustratingly, but hey, I'm a math guy, and using the helpful grid system,
Of Pythagoras.
was able to determine that he went to the left 4 tiny squares and forward by 19, which means I can use the good old Pythagorean theorem to figure out that he was knocked over 16 meters by this Nerf-looking baseball bat katana thing. Along the way, he reached a peak height.
Nerf. I really like it that he just said it as a Nerf baseball bat katana thingy.
Of 3.79 meters and spent a total of 1 second and 150 milliseconds in the air, with a gravitational acceleration pulling him down constantly at 24.6 meters per second. This means we know all we need to in order to do some ballistics math, although it will require some tricky algebra. You see, when someone is launched in a ballistic arc, they're actually moving in 2 dimensions simultaneously. They're moving up and they're moving forward. The up-down direction follows the basic rules of gravity. Someone falling in a ballistic arc that takes 1.15 seconds to hit the ground is going to require the same initial upward speed as someone just being thrown straight up in the air. Since he spends 1.15 seconds in the air, we know he must undergo 28.37 meters per second of velocity change, 14.18 meters per second up, and then eventually 14.18 meters per second down, and bam, just like that, using numbers we already had, we have his vertical velocity. Now, after that, we can easily get his horizontal velocity, the speed he travels across the ground. This is even actually easier because we already calculated how far away he lands, and we know how long it took him to get there. Distance over time in the horizontal direction, 16.37 meters divided by 1.15 seconds, bam, 14.23 meters per second. And
that's a lot of mathematics.
from here, we can figure out the last piece of the puzzle. The angle our victim left the ground at and his speed and acceleration leaving. Pythagoras comes to our aid. The square root of the squares of our two velocities gives us an initial speed of 20 meters per second, 72 kilometers per hour, or 44 miles per hour at 45 degrees, accelerating in just 66 milliseconds. Our poor dude experiences a bone-crushing 30 G's of force to whatever body part of his is hit. There's no way he'd be getting up after that.
And it's 12 years old, alright? It's 12 years old. The bones is that.
Honestly, they should stop calling this ninja gum and start calling it, I don't know, like plastic explosive rocket fuel. The real power of Ninjala isn't ninja powers at all. It's the ability to harness solidified jet fuel as a weapon. They are not ninja, they are rocketeers. Anybody else remember that movie? No? Just me? Okay. I want to give a big thank you to Gung Ho for sponsoring this video. It was honestly, if you can't tell, an absolute blast to put together. It's not every day that you get to, I was gonna say something, but I realized that this actually is pretty much what I do day to day. If you want to check out Ninjala, you can! If you have a Switch, it is free to download and play online without subscribing to Nintendo Switch Online. They have cool promos too, and just finished a Sonic the Hedgehog outfit promo, and are about to start a collab with Kyary Pamyu Pamyu with a custom remix by Steve Aoki, and will have outfits and emotes, the whole shebang. They have 8-person free-for-alls or 4v4 teams if you're into that sort of thing. One cool thing is, even though it's free to play, there's no pay-to-win microtransactions. It's all cosmetics for your avatar. If you want to play, you can grab it on the Nintendo Switch store or click the link in the description below. Sincerely, Austin.
Sincerely, Austin. Thank you so much. The music is good. The music is good. Karaoke! Not sure if you noticed this karaoke. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you like this video. This video is very fun. A lot of mathematics in which I loved. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share about us. Do remember to follow my channel as well, and I hope appreciate all of your support for me. Yeah, oh my gosh, I said that so fast. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Thank you so much, and do remember to follow my channel as well. Thank you, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support for me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. But hey, that's just the signs. The signs of. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video came up from the YouTube channel Game Theorists back in the year 2020, which is 1 year ago, last year. If you do like this video, please remember to watch more of their videos and show support for them, because their videos are very knowledgeable, wisdom filled, and just educational. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video. After all, I'm a huge fan of their work, so thank you. Subscribe!